You are now in tune with MAMBA Radio.
What up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into Brown Mamba Radio. For those out there who don't know, my name is Jackson, and happy Aloha Friday to all you guys out there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your week this week, and hopefully you guys are also looking forward to the weekend. I know I definitely am, but so this is technically a re-recording, or it's actually a re-recording of my intro, because as I originally recorded everything, I did it the way I normally do, where I introduced the song that I played and everything. But however, during my recording, I got an email that I didn't see because I was recording, obviously. But there was an email where it was my second strike on SoundCloud for posting songs on it that are like whatever copyright and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna put any songs in this one anymore. I won't be using any songs in the future. This really fucking sucks because I think that's such a big part of my show and what I do. But I mean, hey man, rules are rules, I guess, and I just don't want to lose my account, because if I get one more strike, I lose my entire account, which is definitely what I don't want to do, since the majority of it is based through SoundCloud. Yeah, it's gonna be a little jumpy this episode, just because of the whole, like I said, I have to cut it up so that it I don't have like the song things where I'm like, hey, well, I'm gonna play this song next and kind of thing. So it's gonna be a little jumpy. Sorry about that. Just wanted to preface you guys with that before we get into it. And here we go. But yeah, before we get going on what happened in the world of sports, I just briefly wanted to touch on more of a serious note. I know I try to keep a lot of this stuff out of it, but I feel it's too important to not talk about. But as most of you may know, there was that the incident in Parkland, Florida, at Stoneman Douglas High School, where the school shooter came and just did a horrible thing. But within the last week or so, there's a lot happening as a result of that. It's sad that something so negative always has to happen in order for something positive like this to happen. But I mean, here we are, and it's really amazing to see these students taking a stand against something so that for so long has been overlooked and swept under the rug, which is horrible to say, but it's the truth. And you'd think that an incident like what happened would just by itself would spark change, but no, it didn't, because I don't have all the details in front of me, but the state of Florida was, all the students sat in when they were going to vote, when there was like a bill or a proposal put in front of the whatever the Florida government, and essentially they didn't even consider it. They didn't even consider the bill, which was to restrict or make it harder for people to get assault rifles. Something that just seems so common sense, but it wasn't even thought about, and in front of all the students who were affected by this incident. And so that sparked them to just walk out of class and march in front of their local governments or their state governments and all that. And it's like I said, it takes courage to do this. It takes a lot of strength to do this, especially considering what those kids all went through. A lot of the students went through, and it's amazing to see not just students in Florida who were directly affected by it, but students all over the country having their back, walking out, demonstrating, letting their voices be heard, having that huge open forum on CNN the other night where they talked to other politicians, and they didn't get the answers they wanted, which was to be expected, and that whole thing was such a joke. And it was a joke, but not a joke at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but I mean, it just shows you how far away we are, but how, you know, just small victories eventually become big ones. And so, just real quick, I just wanted to, send my heart and my support to those kids out there. You know, we all call BS, and hopefully that none of this can ever happen, never again. Um, you know, yeah, because like I said, it just change comes from things like this. It's not gonna happen overnight. We know that. But the kids are on the right track. They know that money is the reason why these things aren't being fixed, being addressed. So that's why they keep bringing it up. So like I said, they're on the right track. It's gonna take some time, but like I said, they have all the support, unconditioned support from me, and a lot of people like me who want to see change happen. And like I said, if this doesn't get, and then like I said, everyone out there listening or whoever wants to show their support, they don't need, like I said, they don't need more people just telling them we have their backs. Go out there and make a difference. Go register to vote if you haven't done so yet. Like I keep saying in other episodes of this, like I said, register to vote. Learn learn about your local government, because you have to learn, start at the ground level and branch out from there. Learn about the local government, learn about your state government, then learn about the federal government, or all that stuff. Okay, like it sucks. It can be boring, but for too long people have thought that it's boring and it sucks and it's lame and all this stuff, and it is. But for too long, we've had that mentality, and now we're where we're at because the people who didn't think it was boring and didn't think it sucked and didn't think it was lame are the ones who are controlling all this stuff. And like I said, if we wanted to change, we've got to become the people who don't think it's boring and lame. So like I said, hopefully this inspires a lot of people to want to not just say they want change, but actually do something about it. The other big revelation coming out of this is there's a bunch of people who are trying to shut these kids up and all that stuff, but that's it just shows you that also that people are sick and tired of, they don't trust politicians and their elders and stuff anymore. No one trusts any power figures of authority anymore, and it's for merited reasons. For so long now, like you've always heard these stories about people of power abusing their power, but there's never been any hard evidence. But now it's coming out. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to compare different things here. I'm just bringing up facts. It started with all the police shootings, and it's like you always heard about all this stuff, and then there was never any hard physical evidence. But now with the camera phones, people are seeing it, and they're seeing the blatant mistreatment of people of color in this country, and abuse of power by the police. That happened, and then with the Harvey Weinstein thing happening, you've heard about all these powerful figures in Hollywood or in the entertainment business abusing their power to get what they want. And now it's coming to the forefront. We have hard physical evidence of it. Same thing with our government and politicians. For the longest time, you always heard about, it's only about money, and then blah blah blah. But now all this stuff, people are happy, and then people are always like, no, it's not. These people care about us. They're public servants. They care about the people. When everyone knows that they didn't, but now all the stuff is coming to the forefront. There's hard evidence of people taking money from these companies and these organizations, mainly the NRA and all the stuff like that, and they're in each other's pockets, and so it's like I said, it's all been hearsay for a long time, and it's no longer hearsay. It's out in the public, and so like I said, hopefully we're seeing all these, these times changing, and we're seeing these positions of power have to change. With the police, then Black Lives Matter came out of it. With the Harvey Weinstein and all that stuff happening, we saw the Me Too movement happen. Now we're seeing it again with these, the gun control, part of the whole sparking the whole thing where we need to change our government system as a whole. And from there, we're getting the Never Again movement. So, like I said, it sucks that such negative things or such positive things have to come from such negative things when it should just be, it should just happen. But like I said, here we are, and those kids, those students, those young adults have, my support, and like I said, the support of people like me. And I just quickly wanted to talk about that. I know I said quickly, went a little bit longer, but it just, it's sad that it has to happen that way, but like I said, at least it's happening, and small victories, can lead to big ones. So like those kids out there, everyone around there, we got to keep fighting the good fight, and like I said, eventually change will come. But all right, so now on to the world of sports. Not that much happening, unfortunately. All-Star break happened when basketball was really the only sport going on, so there wasn't a whole lot going on for there. I know the Winter Olympics are going on, which are, they're the Winter Olympics. But, I mean, come on, like, it's not, breaking any barriers or anything, or really moving the needles. But shout out to the women's hockey team for winning the gold. That's big. I think this is the first time in like 20, 30 years or something like that. So shout out to all those, shout out to all the ladies out there. So yeah, the Winter Olympics are going. I think they're almost done. Baseball is kind of back. It's spring training. Pitchers and catchers were like last week. And then now it's like spring training is officially underway. Some games are going to start, I think, this weekend in Arizona. Side note, if anyone else is going, maybe I'll see you there for supporting the Dodgers. But yeah, so I mean, not a whole lot, like I said, from the world of sports. But not quickly again, but whatever. I know earlier in the week I talked about AllStar Weekend with the homie Drew Ruiz, and if you haven't checked that episode out, do so. But it was more like the media stuff, and we didn't really get a chance to talk about the game itself and all that stuff, so that's why I want to take a little bit of time to talk about that. Because, All-Star Weekend, it's, like I said, it's fun. There's no doubt about that. It's fun. But, I mean, like I said, it's just for too long now, we've said, oh, it could be better, or this and that. What should we do to make it better? And nothing gets done, and it's just like, I don't know what the problem is, but it just feels like just like anything else with like cool shit like stuff that should be cool. It's just a bunch of corny old white guys like thinking, well, this is what kids think is cool, right? And so, that's why we get like these weird skills challenge. Or we had that one thing where it was like, do you guys remember like 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when there was that thing where it was like one retired player, one current player, and one WNBA player, and they would do some pretty much a skills challenge. And it was like, what is this shit, dude? Like, no one cares. It's like, just do fun stuff, do cool stuff, and like I said, I get it with the skills challenge, but I mean, whatever. Like I'm kind of skipping ahead here, but I mean, that was on Saturday, and I didn't watch a single bit of the skills challenge. But if Spencer Dinwiddie won it, then I'm pretty sure I didn't miss much, and neither did a lot of people. So, just like, I don't know. I'll get to how I think they should make it better a little later at the end of this, but yeah, we just go through real quick. Like Friday was, the celebrity game was cool, I guess. It's always just whatever. It's more entertaining because you got a whole lot of, the whole thing where, or what do they say, rappers want to be athletes and athletes want to be rappers. But then the entertainers do want to they want to be athletes. Everyone knows that. That's why they always have the celebrity softball game, celebrity basketball game, all that. So it was cool, I guess. Even though I did call it as soon as they announced Quavo was going to be in the game. I knew he was going to get MVP. If you haven't seen him on his, I think it's like Ball is Life or Hoop Mixtape or whatever stuff, those open runs he'd be on, go watch them. Quavo can ball. So check that out. But even though he won MVP, I almost had to go down there and get loco for putting his hands on my boo, Rachel Demita. 2K Rachel, I got your back, girl. I got you. I know you're strong enough to handle it yourself. I know that. Trust me. I know that. But like I said, I almost had to get your back. But it's all good. 2K Rachel could have won MVP too if her team won. But it's the way it goes sometimes. But again, like I said, the celebrity game was fine. I don't even remember what else was on the Friday. But like I said, that shows you whatever. But yeah, on the Saturday stuff, like I said, the skills competition, like whatever, they could do away with it and no one would really miss it. But Devin Booker, took home the crown for the 3-point contest, and he set the record with 28 points, I think. So that's crazy. It looks like we're gonna be doing for the 3-point contest is slowly taking the top spot as the crown jewel of All-Star Saturday, and that's just because it's part of the whole 3-pointers are in the whole lexicon, and they're a popular item amongst NBA scoring and all that stuff. I get that, and plus this is the whole thing with the dunk contest. Most of the dunks have been done, so it's tough to, It's like I had a good ass analogy one time. I was like, I think I was drunk and I was talking about it, but I had a good ass analogy. I should have wrote it down, but yeah, damn, I can't remember what it was. But yeah, so Devin Booker won, and it looks like we're gonna be in for a lot of good 3-point contests, especially with guys like Booker and Steph and Clay, and Bradley Beal and a lot of the top guys who are in the 3-point top 3-point shooters in the league, and then so like I said, it looks like we're gonna have a lot of good 3-point contests going forward. But also shouts to Booker for winning in the fire undefeated Kobe 1 PEs, and then I think I made a post about this on the Brown Mama Instagram page, but the real MVP of AllStar Weekend were those undefeated Kobe 1s, like and then not just the ones that undefeated put out by themselves, but all the PEs that they had in the camo colorway. Oh my god, so fire, straight fire. Booker had the orange camo. Giannis was spotted wearing those green camos, not like the camouflage green, but like it's like a brightish color green, like a Kelly green. And then DeMar had like a black pair and like a black and gray camo and a red camo. So like I said, it was just crazy. Those are easily the best shoes of All-Star Weekend. Kobe, Eddie Cruz, Nike at it again. So yeah, and then onto the dunk contest, which definitely was more entertaining than expected. Despite the, I don't want to say awful. A lot of people are saying awful, and I get it. But despite the questionable choices of judges, which led to questionable judging. Like I said in the other one, I love DJ Khaled. That's the one. That's my guy and all. But don't have him judge a dunk contest. Like, please. He was so all over the place, and it's just, like I said, he's all over the place, and then Mark Wahlberg was like all over the place, and all this, and it's like, come on, man, like I said, go back to just getting, just have the TNT guys do it. That's not that hard. They can commentate or comment or whatever. They can they can announce the game as well as just give their scores, and it'll be fine. They're entertaining enough. You don't need outside ringer guys like that, But yeah, like I said, it was a lot more entertaining than expected, and just for the main reason was just Larry Nance really, really impressed me, and I'm sure he impressed everyone else because, I talked about it with Drew. Going into it, when you see Larry Nance, like I said, as a Laker fan, I say a lot of Larry Nance. But when you saw Larry Nance, everyone said like, oh, he's gonna be in the dunk contest. It's like, man, like, because when he dunks in the game, they're usually just like, just the whoever it is throwing the lob throws it really high, and Larry Nance can jump out of the gym, so he just catch it. And just pretty straight up Statue of Liberty dunks, nothing crazy, No, he doesn't do any like 360s or through the or East Bay funks or through the legs or anything crazy. He just jumps really high, catches it, and then dunks it. So I was kind of like going into it, I'm like, I hope it's just not some like Shannon Brown thing like a few years ago, or more than that now. Jesus, I'm getting old. Like when Shannon Brown was in it, and all he did was just jump really high, and it's like, okay, cool, but yeah, super impressed that Larry Nance was so creative and so athletic with it and stuff like that. Because you got guys like Dennis Smith and Donovan Mitchell, who obviously we see their highlights. They just get crazy all the time with their dunks. But yeah, like I said, just really surprised me. And I was surprised with how much emotion he showed. Because, like I said, Larry Nance is usually just an even keel guy most of the time. And, so like I said, that was a pleasant surprise on that end. But as far as the dunk contest goes, not mad that Donovan Mitchell won. Even though his VC tribute was not even close to as good as VC and should have gotten a way lower score because it wasn't like I just for a quick rant. If you're gonna do a tribute like dunk or anything like that, and you're gonna throw on the VC Raptors jersey like that, and if you're gonna do the dunk that VC does, you better do it as good or better. Don't do it worse. And I can't believe they gave him like a 49 or a 48 or something. It's like, dude, give him 8s. That was not he didn't get anywhere close to as high. He didn't make it look as theatrical because that dunk was so perfectly smooth when VC did it, and Donovan Mitchell barely got it over, and like it just so it looked like me when I tried to do it on like a 7-foot, like a 5-foot rim. Like I can make it look that bad. So like I said, that's fine because his other dunks were pretty good. But if Nance won, I definitely would have been happy with that as well. And also, Victor Oladipo, by all means, could have and should have shut the entire dunk contest down. Should have. If he just did the dunk on the first try, but if he did a cool dunk on the first try for that Black Panther dunk, like if he actually did a cool dunk, like it, man, I don't know why he didn't just do like the 360s he always does or something. Do something cooler than what he did. Like I know it's difficult. It's easier said than done. I get that, but just come on, man. If you're gonna do the whole Black Panther thing, you got to deliver, and he didn't, and. Whatever. It's okay. Like I said, the dunk contest is what it was. Like I said, hopefully it can get better in the future. But like I said, we'll see. Okay, but then where is it? Oh, Sunday. So quickly for the AllStar Game. Again, AllStar Game itself was also better than expected. And I'm pretty sure it's because of that new format. The guys picked the teams, which made things a little bit... I think that's what made it a little more competitive. Because it looks like they gave a shit. Like they were actually like running plays and running, playing defense, not just in the last minute, but like for like the whole second half. Guys were actually like, taking it a little bit more serious. Like obviously not trying to hurt each other or anything like that or go super hard. But they're actually playing a pretty legit game. But yeah, so like I said, not sure if it was because of the new format, but I'm pretty sure it was. So like I said, hopefully they can keep that going forward. But as far as the game goes, LeBron adding to his legacy, winning his third All-Star Game MVP. I think him and Jordan are the only guys now to do that, where they won 3 regular season MVPs, 3 Finals MVPs, and 3 All-Star Game MVPs, which is pretty freaking crazy if you think about that. But then on the opposite end of the spectrum, the other team captain, Steph, boy oh boy, man, Steph was not having a good day. And you could definitely tell he was out taking advantage of, and then all weekend, you could definitely tell all weekend long who was taking advantage, I'll say, of All-Star Weekend being in LA on a weekend, with a 3-day weekend at that. Like I said, you could definitely tell in the 3-point contest, you could tell in the All-Star Game, but yeah, so... like I said, hey man, when in Rome, you know what I mean? Warada, sarate. So yeah. Also, quickly too, Joel Embiid could have and should have been a bigger impact on the game if he was on a minutes restriction, because he definitely looked like he belonged. He looks like, you want to talk about someone who just straight DGAF, YOLO, Embiid. He does not care. You know what I mean? He there's no stage is too big, no lights are too bright for Joel Embiid. So I'm looking forward to that. I said the game overall was okay. I'm looking forward to the game going forward now. Even though it's going to be in North Carolina next year, whatever. Have fun there, guys. So, yeah, like I said, the game was good. Made me a little excited for it going forward. And quickly, also, I can't talk about the All-Star Game without talking about the national anthem. And sure, Fergie, I believe it, because Fergie does do some pretty weird stuff and different things, But yeah, definitely a swing and a miss. Sometimes you don't hit them. You don't hit all of them. You know what I mean? No baseball player bats 1,000. No basketball player's field goal percentage is 100%. Just like in music, not everyone's album is good, or every artistic choice they make is the right one. So, I'll just leave it at that. Because Fergalicious, you know what I mean? It's hard to slam on Fergalicious, but you gotta, call a spade a spade. And it was not good. But yeah, overall, All-Star Weekend wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, which is a good thing. Doesn't mean it was good, but it's a good thing. So yeah, like I said, still not 100% sure how to make it better. Maybe they could televise the draft. Maybe just keep it in LA every year. That's honestly a good choice. Why not? Why not? Why spread the wealth to these these other not as fun and entertaining places? Like, and the Super Bowl was in Minnesota. People hated it. They hated it. They hated it being in Minnesota because it was freezing cold. Have fun next year in Charlotte, North Carolina. Cool. They'll probably do some Jordan tributes and stuff, but whatever. It's not going to be like you might get a better game or better performances from the athletes because there's not going to be as much nightlife or anything fun to do out there. But yeah, and then maybe the one thing I will say, I think that what they could add to All-Star Saturday, get rid of that skills competition or whatever, or make it last and make this thing last. Make it a King of the Court tournament. Make it a King of the Court tournament. Somehow you can figure it out where it's, maybe one guy from each team, or something like two guys from each team, or something like that. But you just pick, and then for those of you who are unfamiliar with how King of the Court works, it's essentially one-on-one. But you can do one-on-one, sure, or you can play the whole thing where it's only 3 dribbles, 2 dribbles, whatever you want to do. You start at the top of the key. One guy gets the ball. So if you do like the 2 dribble thing or the 3 dribble thing, so the guy has the ball at the top of the key. He's figuring out, and he has to score the ball somehow only using 3 dribbles or less. So he can do like a behind the back crossover, step back, boom, and then shoot it. Or he can just shake somebody and then do crossover and then get by with a layup or something. But it's the 2 or 3 dribbles or less. That could be cool because, like I said, these guys do that shit all the time in practice anyway, So why not just make it? And it may not make. That's what's the most fun. Like going back to the whole thing with, or it's always like the whole thing, but it's kind of in the thing where it's like we know that these guys do it, so why not just televise it? Because one of the most entertaining games of all time is the Monte Carlo game that the Dream Team in '92 played. That was just a regular game practice game that those guys were playing, but they were going hard because it was the best guys in the world playing against each other at the time, and everyone loved watching that game. So it's like I said, why not just do something like that? Obviously, they're not going to do that. They're not going to try to embarrass each other in the All-Star Game, and it's not about embarrassing. Just do King of the Court, And then with it, make it the winner have their proceeds go to charity of their choice. Like they get, I think, what was it, like on the other stuff, they get like $1 million or something. Like that's chump change to those guys. But then have that $1 million go to the charity of their choice. You know what I mean? So like I said, just think about that. King of the Court to go last. Just think about it for a little bit, all right? And so yeah. That definitely was a lot longer than I expected. Which is fine. I haven't really done a whole lot this week. Now moving on to what I think the Lakers and the Clippers should do going forward. Well, I'm going to address, I guess, 2 things. What I think they will do versus what I think they should do. Because those are 2 very, very different things. And these are just my opinions, nothing crazy. What do I know? I'm just a dude sitting at his desk, talking shit into a microphone. But, I'm recording this on a late Thursday night. The Clippers just got beat by the Warriors, which is fine. But the Lakers play tomorrow in their first game after the All-Star break. And, the All-Star break is the unofficial, or is the official, unofficial halfway mark of the NBA. And usually right after the All-Star break is when teams, like to decide what they should or shouldn't do. This is kind of where they, it's like the teams at top, they're chilling. They're just trying to make sure that they keep, their playoff seeding properly, or they keep wherever they stay in the playoffs. And this is usually where the teams who are on the bottom just kind of say, fuck it, mail it in. Let's just get some, let's just try different lineups and do shit like that, And the guy everywhere else in the middle, kind of decide what they want to do going forward. I know the name of the game is to always win. That's always, that's not, that's what everyone's going to say. But like I said, it's not always what people want to do. The Sixers were very unapologetic with their tanking and stuff like that. And then I know that's changed. I know that I believe the Mavericks and Mark Cuban were fined for Cuban saying, we should tank. Or he said something about tanking, and it pissed off Adam Silver. But side note, I should have mentioned the Dallas Mavericks thing. That stuff is bad. It's very, very bad and very, very upsetting. And I just, not to sound cynical or anything like that, or trying to make light of it, but first of all, if you haven't read it yet, Sports Illustrated did a really great piece about essentially Harvey Weinstein style stuff happening in the Dallas Mavericks organization amongst their higher ups. Nothing directly with Mark Cuban, but a lot of their personnel, their management and executive personnel. There's not much to say about it really, other than it's the subject matter. So just go read it for yourself, formulate your own opinions and your own stuff. But what's in, you can formulate your own opinions and all that stuff. The stuff that's in the pieces are facts. So, that happened. And like I said, not to sound cynical, but I knew it was just a matter of time until it reached the world of sports. Anytime there's, people with power in anything, usually, entertainment and sports just fall under entertainment sort of, that kind of stuff happens. And like I said, it's only a matter of time. This probably isn't the first, and this isn't the last time this is going to happen either, which is even worse. But anyway, yeah, read that. But then that's about the Mavs. But yeah, the Mavs got fined for Mark Cuban speaking out, saying something about how he wanted to possibly tank. I mean, even if he was joking, Adam Silver does not want that, and so he had to set the tone. But I don't know. I don't think the Lakers should tank per se, because it's like I said, I've mentioned it before. It's pretty obvious they're not going to win anything this season. They're not going to win. They're not going to win. They're not going to win a championship. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. And even if they do make the playoffs, they're just going to get bounced in the first round, and and then they would jeopardize their chances of getting a good pick. It's just they should just try to get more playing time, or try to get more chemistry between the young guys, like Lonzo, Kuzma, Ingram. Those guys are clearly the future for the team, or else they would have tried to figure a way to get rid of one or two of them. I don't know how much longer Randall's going to be around. He's a free agent. They could let him walk. They could trade him in the offseason to a sign and trade. Who knows? Like I said, you guys know how I feel about Randall. But like I said, with Isaiah Thomas in the mix now, people are saying, oh, what should they do with him and Lonzo in the backcourt? Man, just all Isaiah Thomas has to do is just catch and shoot, man. Don't do too much. Don't be too extra. We all know he is, but he just, if he wants, the best situation for him in his case is to just, like I said, just catch and shoot, man. Just, you don't have to, we all know he's got a bum hip, and it benefits himself and it benefits the team. You know, he's got a bad hip or bad legs, and you know, it's the less he does, the better. You know, if you think about it like that. So whenever he has the ball, he doesn't have to try to drive and get crazy or anything. You know, just let Lonzo do that for him. All he has to do is just catch and shoot. So, you know, it's tough to see considering how dynamic Isaiah Thomas was last year. But like I said, he's not the same player, obviously. So, you know, that's what I think they should do. You know, they're definitely playing for the future. They're gonna have a lot of cap room going into next season. I forget what the situation is off top with their draft pick, and all that stuff, but you know, it's just the better the draft pick, the higher the bad draft pick, the better. You know, you just get a better chance of getting a better player. So, and I don't know too much about college. I'm hoping to get one of the homies on, hopefully towards the end of the season, one of my homies who follows college basketball a lot more than me. He can, you know, give me some insight and stuff like that on who some of the top college guys are, because I honestly don't give a shit about any of that stuff. So yeah, you know, just with the Lakers, just the best thing going for them going forward is just, you know, have an entertaining product on the floor. It's gonna be fine, because we as Laker fans like, you know, the guys we have on our team. We like Lonzo, we like Ingram, we like Kuzma, you know, we like Brolo, we like, you know, a lot of these guys. So at least, like I said, just as long as they make it fun and we can see growth, you know, like I said, they're not gonna win anything. Like I said, all we want to see is them develop better chemistry as a group, and also, you know, show signs of growth within their game. You know, seeing, like, you know, just for me personally, I like seeing the increase of aggressiveness from Ingram. He's taking it harder to the rack. He's not as timid as he was last year, which is, you know, good. Like I said, a good sign to see. And I'd want to see the same thing from Lonzo. Just be more aggressive with it. As soon as he gets the ball, he usually, if he's not like dribbling around a little bit, he just gets rid of it. And he's really great in fast break. He needs to get better in the half court. So, like I said, I just want to see more aggressiveness, more, not like it's not passion, you know, because that's not, he loves his game. We all know that. It's just, but just like a little bit more aggressiveness and you know, assertiveness. When he has the ball. And Kuzma's good. Just keep making the shots. You know, he goes up and down, and that's fine. He's a rookie. But like I said, just being more consistent and more consistency from Kuzma. You know, maybe, like I said, with IT, a little bit more catch and shoot. Like I said, saving himself. Like I said, for him, for his own benefit. You know, and just like I said, overall for the team, just better chemistry. So that's what I think the Lakers should do. It's pretty simple. Now it's a little more complicated for the Clippers. Now I know I've talked about it in the past, you know, about how the Clippers and mainly Jerry West have perfectly orchestrated themselves in this happy medium where their team is good enough to, you know, get into the playoffs, make a little noise maybe, and, you know, be competitive and stuff like that. They're good enough there, but they're not good enough to obviously win the title. And so they're in that zone where they're not shitty, but they're not great either. And so it's like, so whatever happens, you know, when they do their exit interviews or whatever, or their postseason stuff or whatever they do, they can, you know, they have an out. They can say, well, you know, we built if they do well, like, well, you know, we made these great moves to get guys like Tobias Harris and Avery Bradley, and you know, we knew that we had a pretty good team and we can build off this for next year. They're gonna do that kind of bullshit. Or if they have, if they don't do well, they're like, well, we wanted to take a change, blah blah blah. Like, it was tough, we traded Blake, and then we blah blah blah. Like, this happened and that happened, and all, we lost. It's tough, our roster's different. It's gonna take some time for our team to get together and gel and work together, but we'll get there. Like, they can do. Like I said, they're perfectly formulated to go either way, and so it makes it tough to predict which way they're gonna go. That sounds like a cop-out answer, and I know it is. But like I said, it's difficult to see where, because they're playing, as weird as this as sounds. Like I said, I've mentioned it before. Even after trading Blake, it seems like they're playing a little bit better basketball, which is weird to say because they lost their best player. The bench is getting more active. Guys are starting. Gallo's starting to get a little bit healthier. Austin Rivers is healthy again, but it's tough. What they should do, I think, however, is I don't know. I really don't, because I think they should not tank, you know what I mean? But they should try to, not, like I said, it's tough. It's difficult because, they like I said, you want them, they have a chance, being perfectly formulated as they are to go either way, it leaves you susceptible to falling into what, shout out to my man Max Kellerman, to what Max Kellerman calls second round purgatory, or first round purgatory, or playoff purgatory, whatever you want to call it, where your team is, if you're even familiar with the purgatory theory or idea, it's when you do that, because the Knicks did it for years, where the Knicks were not good enough to win the title, but not bad enough to be in the lottery, and they were stuck in that middle ground where they would, either be like a 9 seed or like a 8. They would be like a 9 seed on the outside looking in on the playoffs, and still get stuck with like a shitty draft pick, maybe like in the like the 18-19 range, or they would get into the playoffs and they would just get bounced in the first round. And again, still stuck with a shitty draft pick in like that, outside the lottery, but not in like the 20s. You know what I mean? Like in that range between like 16 and like 21 kind of draft pick, which, sure, a lot of great players have come from that area. I know that, but, you always want the top guy. You want a lottery pick, and they're not, like I said, they're not good enough to be winning championships, which is always good, but they're not bad enough to get lottery picks. And I'm afraid that's where the Clippers might be headed. Now, whether that's some like grand scheme or whatever to do that so that it gets people, disinterested in the team, and then they can move to Seattle. Now that I got my tin hat on doing the whole conspiracy theory thing, I know that. Because I am very, very, very convinced that the Clippers are going to Seattle sooner rather than later. But yeah, the Clippers are tricky, man. Clippers are tricky, man. Like I said, they just lost earlier tonight. It's to be expected on the road in up at Golden State. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the Clippers are gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do, and I don't know what they should do. They should just try to get the best draft picks they can. That's what they should do. Now, whether they can, the way their team is orchestrated, I don't know. So, like I said, my biggest fear with them is they're stuck in that purgatory. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Who knows? Like it's tough. It's tough. This is, and not in a good way. These are not good problems to have. So, like, I don't know. The Clippers, man. I don't know. I don't know what they do because, like I said, it's not like you can just fire Doc Rivers either because, like I said, they're actually playing pretty good basketball with less talent on the team. So Doc's actually been doing not too bad of a job. So it's like I said, they're in such a weird situation. I don't really know what they should do. I had some ideas, and the more I started to say them out loud, it was kind of like, damn, actually, maybe they shouldn't, or maybe they should. I don't know. So, like I said, we're just gonna have to wait and see with the Clips. Lakers a little easier. We know that they're playing for 20. The future. And I just think that the Clippers. I guess that's the one thing I can say that they should do. The Clippers should do is start preparing for the future. It looks like they might be already, but it's hard to tell. Very hard to tell. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. So, yeah, that's gonna do it for me today. It was a little different. Oh, almost done, not completely done. I wanted to do my my Midseason Awards. Like I said, the All-Star break is like the unofficial midway point of the NFL. Excuse me, the NBA. I wanted to do this with some friends, with the homies, but it just schedules were a little difficult and I couldn't get it done this week. But I did want to do like my Midseason Awards. I have a blend of the actual awards that they give out. And like if the whole thing, well, if the season ended today, what would they, well, that kind of shit. And I also got some Brown Mamba awards. There's a few of them. I'm trying to add some more cool ones that stuff that I'm interested in. I just haven't, fully done it yet. I'm pretty busy, but I have some. So starting with the regular awards, obviously, if the season ended today, the MVP, James Harden, pretty unanimous. He's got a lot of the best, stats, both the old school stats. He's got a lot of good ones with the advanced metric stats. He playing better defense. I know he missed a few games, which kind of hinders it. But like I said, Harden across the board for a lot of people, is this season's MVP so far. And all he has to do is just stay healthy, keep continuing to play the way he is, and that should be his. And just think about that. If James Harden wins the MVP, I know it's been beaten to death, but OKC had Harden, Russ, and KD all on the same team and couldn't figure it out. Crazy. I'm telling you, that's a future 30 for 30. That is a future 30 for 30. Just, yeah. So Harden for the MVP. Rookie of the year, so far, it's between two guys for me. It's going to be either Ben Simmons or Donovan Mitchell. I mean, what these guys are doing, Ben Simmons is far and away the most impressive, way more impressive than I thought. And it just shows you how much of how he was so wasted in college. And there's talks about potentially rescinding the one and done rule. And if that's the case, Ben Simmons should be Exhibit A for the case against it, because it being at LSU it was just a waste of a year for him over there in LSU in college, So either Ben Simmons or Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell definitely a steal of the draft, that's for sure. But then Donovan Mitchell, man, just really playing well. He's stepped in the absence of Ricky Rubio, I believe, right, for the Jazz, and they went on that 10-11 game win streak right before the end of the break, and that was he definitely had a big, he was a key player in that, or key factor in that. So like I said, so far I don't know who's gonna win it, but if it's between those two guys so far. Defensive player of the year, tougher than most years. There's no standout lockdown guy so far, but a lot of people are saying KD, a lot of people are saying Paul George, definitely not going to be Draymond. I see people saying Draymond, no way, but I think that it's going to be difficult this year. Maybe Paul George, maybe KD, I don't know. Like I said, I really don't. But like I said, we'll have to wait and see. Coach of the year, it's a two-way. Depending on who gets the higher seed, it's going to be either Brad Stevens or Dwayne Casey. If I'm not mistaken, right now the Raptors are the top of the East, so he's going to get it. if it ended today. But like I said, it's a two-man race between those guys, and depending on where the Spurs pan out, maybe Pop. They're not playing with their star guy Kawhi, and they're just still in the thick of things. They're in the top 3 or 4, I think, right now in the West. And side note with that whole Kawhi thing, I just please, I hope he figures it out, and I hope he comes back healthy, because the league is a better place when we have everyone at full strength, especially a guy like Kawhi. So please get this shit figured out, whether it's in San Antonio or in Los Angeles. Please have Kawhi come back and playing. Please, we need him in the league. We need the Sharktopus. So that's how I think the coaches will go. Like I said, depending on how the East shakes up between Brad Stevens and Dwayne Casey. 6-man, no doubt, Lou Will. 6-man like I'm Lou Will. He's just killing it. Should have been an all-star. We all know that. And then most improved, can Embiid get it? Can he? I don't know. Maybe Embiid, but I think it's going to be Oladipo. There's been a whole lot of, pieces about Oladipo and how he's been, changed his body, changed his game, and all that stuff, and deservedly so. He, he was in a weird situation last year on the Thunder, obviously, when Russell Westbrook had, the triple-double season, MVP season, and so he's finally getting to, be his own lead guy again, in Indiana. Excuse me. But it's just tough. It's weird thinking, can a guy who was picked number 2 overall get most improved? So I don't know. Like I said, most improved, I'll have to see. I'd have to, like I said, we'll have to wait and see. But if my money was on anyone, it'd be Oladipo. And then, like I said, maybe Embiid. Maybe, I don't know. Even Embiid for Rookie of the Year, who knows? But I just don't think he'll have played enough games for Rookie of the Year though. But that was, I don't know. That was last year too. Like I said, we'll have to wait and see. So those were there's some other weird awards that I don't care about, but for them. But those were the traditional awards. And now, these are so far what I have for the Brown Mamba Awards. These are the Brown Mamba Awards, and like I said, these are things that interest me. And what, like, when I watch the game, what stuff kind of interests me, and just it's not just like X's and O's and shit like on the floor, but it's just other stuff that make the game more fun to watch. So the first one is the House of Highlights Award. Shout out to House of Highlights, killing the game. The House of Highlights Award, where if you're on the House of Highlights Instagram page or Twitter or whatever, if you see this guy's name in the description or you see his jersey on the thumbnail, no matter what, you're watching that video. And so the House of Highlight Award so far this season is between 2 guys, but mainly it's 1A and like a very strong 1A, and then a 1B. 1A, obviously it's Giannis. I mean, Giannis is killing it right now. Anytime you see him, he's gonna his highlights are crazy. Just go watch his highlights on House of Highlights. Giannis is killing it. Donovan Mitchell's killing it, and a special shout out to Zion Williamson on House of Highlights too. That dude's gonna be a beast. Don't know why he picked Duke. We all know why he picked Duke, but could have went literally, like, come on, seriously, Duke. But he's gonna be killing it. But that's the House of Highlights Award. Another one, the Kicks on Court Award. Pretty obvious there. Best sneakers on the court. You have to wear them on the court. You can't wear them in the tunnel, which is a separate, or in the locker room, which is a separate award. But the best sneakers on court is it's a 3-way tie between PJ Tucker, Nick Young, and coming in hard. Pause that. Oh my God. Coming in hard from behind. Jesus. Coming in hard from behind. Pause that. It's Jimmy Butler, who's been bringing out some heat lately. But PJ Tucker definitely bringing the heat with the Nike and the Jordans. Nick Young bringing out the fire Adidas. But Jimmy Butler, man, he's been bringing out some heat lately with some Jordans, man. Bringing out some heat lately. So it's mainly a 2-way tie at the top. But like I said, don't be surprised if Jimmy Butler sneaks in there towards the end. Pause that again. Jesus. pause that. But that's the kicks on court. Now we're taking it to the tunnel. And the tunnel is the new catwalk. You know what I mean? So this is who's got the best pregame fits, who's the best dressed, and this is the Catwalk Award or the Clyde So Fly Award. And if you don't follow Clyde So Fly on Instagram, follow Clyde So Fly. Everyone knows Clyde, and if you should know, if you call yourself a basketball fan and like a basketball junkie or whatever, and you don't know about Clyde Frazier, you played yourself. You're playing yourself. So go follow Clyde So Fly on Instagram, because everyone knows Clyde Frazier had the craziest fits. He had the craziest fits all the time when he was playing, and he still continues that tradition to this day. He's one of the pregame analysts and all that stuff for the Knicks, and this guy Clyde So Fly takes the same screenshot from every game when he's previewing or what he's giving his takes on the game, and you see his suit for that day, and he gives it a grade between A and F. And they are hilarious. It is a hilarious page. Like I said, Clyde got the crazy fits. Follow Clyde So Fly. And again, so this is the Clyde So Fly Award, or who's the best dressed pregame. Pretty obvious. It's between Russell Westbrook and Nick Young, especially this year. Those guys are going at it, holding it down for LA. And I just want to take a quick little time out to say, everyone, just the same people who are giving Russ and Nick Young praise for wearing the crazy stuff, don't act like you guys aren't the same ones who were saying, what is this guy wearing? This guy's wearing blah, blah. You guys know who you are, so quit faking the funk. You know what I mean? So quit, just know. You know what I mean? Because now everyone's dressing like them. So make sure you guys, pay homage and say you're sorry. All right? So that's the Clyde So Fly Award. I'm trying to think of a more clever name for this, but it's the Social Media Award, or the best social media presence. Obviously, this case, number one, Joel Embiid. He's the funniest pictures, the funniest captions, the funniest when he puts the geotag on him on the Instagram posts. He's got the funniest ones there. The funniest dude on Twitter. We're one of the funniest dudes on Twitter, sliding in people's DMs and shit. Like, what I mean? He's just very unapologetic about it, and that's cool. And he's very authentic, So shouts to Joel Embiid for that one. With some honorable mentions, follow Kyle Kuzma if you don't. Kyle Kuzma is very, very authentic as well. He's very outspoken. He's very learned, and he's very, he knows what he's talking about when he tweets. He's very smart. So follow Kuzma. And then Lou Will, too. Lou Will's funny. Lou Will's unfiltered in that funny way. He'll do Q&As and just tell people to shut the fuck up and shit like that. It's just, that kind of stuff. It's funny as hell. So, like I said, Joel Embiid, the top so far, but honorable mentions to Kuzma and Lou Will. And like I said, I'm trying to think of some other ones to do. I haven't, fully sat down and done a lot of them yet, but those are the ones I like off top. And like I said, at the end of the year, I'll definitely be having my Brown Mamba Awards and handing those out. But now I'm done. It's been a long episode, I know. That's okay. Thank you for sticking with it. And like I said, thank you guys for rocking with me. Always, thank you. And like always, if you like what you guys heard, subscribe, share, comment, all that good YouTuber shit. And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, all that stuff, and get them interested. And then so like I said, subscribe on everywhere else you can find podcasts and shit like that. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Like I said, look for other places. There's some other ones I'm trying to get onto, like I said, but it's a little tough. I gotta, it's tough when you're doing this on your own with a very little budget and stuff like that. But like I said, follow along to listen. If you wanna, if you wanna chat, you wanna say what's up, you wanna slide in the DMs, you wanna yell at me or anything like that, you don't like what I gotta say about the Lakers or the Clippers or anything else in general, follow me on the socials, Instagram, Twitter. I'm mainly on those two, all the time, every day. But then I also got Facebook and some other stuff like that. But follow me follow along on the socials at Brown Mamba Radio, like I'm the only one. Or you can follow my personal stuff at JXCKSXNNN. That's 3 N's. So, yeah, that's going to be it for me today. And the season's coming back. We're going to see how we can finish strong. Not just for the Lakers and the Clippers, but just the whole season as in general. So, like I said, it's always better when the league is in a good place for every league in every sport. So, hopefully, like I said, we can finish the home stretch well. And like I said, yeah, that's it for me. Have a safe, responsible, fun weekend to all you guys out there. Speaking of the weekend, oh damn, I forgot about Elimination Chamber. Shit. The Elimination Chamber for WWE. I'm not gonna go on the right stuff. We all know Roman Reigns is gonna win the men's one because it's Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania. Blah. We already know that. But the women's one, the first ever women's Elimination Chamber, it's a little bit more up in the air. It'd be tough if they take the belt off Alexa Bliss after having her for so long, even though she defended it like twice in like 7 months. But what would be cool is if they did, if Sasha Banks had it and it was Sasha Banks versus Bayley, that'd be cool. But I don't know. I really don't know. I just hope for a good match. It's the road to WrestleMania is definitely bumpy at this point. We don't know what's going on. There's no set in stone matches yet. Which is, some people are criticizing it, but, look at the way the WWE's gone so far this year. There's been a lot of injuries, just like in the NBA, which is kind of weird, kind of that weird parallel. But, so they don't want to fully invest in any storylines just yet, considering that it's bitten them in the ass for the majority of the last calendar year or so. So, like I said, hope it's just a good match. Hope it's a good pay-per-view overall. And yeah, so enjoy the Elimination Chamber. Have fun out there this weekend. Be safe. Be responsible. Please, please, please. Yeah. Drink more water. Be kind to each other out there. It's easy to be nice. Catch you guys on the next one.